It starts recording. There we go. All right, welcome to Facebook Pages Training. I will ask if you aren't actively commenting at the time, please keep yourselves on mute. You can unmute at any time. You guys know that I welcome questions as we go along. So unmute at any time and feel free to ask questions. I'll also pause every once in a while and keep an eye on the chat thread. So Facebook, this is a lot of information, but I can break this down into snippets, and as you have questions, let me know. First, I want to outline when it comes to managing your business through Facebook, Facebook has a policy that we should not be conducting business through our personal Facebook profile. So that account that you created, mine is Erin Sestero, we're not supposed to utilize that to conduct business. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't talk about being a real estate agent or being a realtor on my personal profile on a regular basis, but when I'm posting business posts, new listings, open houses, when I'm actually conducting business in that fashion, I'm always posting on my professional page. And keep in mind, when you are creating that page, you're not going into Facebook and creating a separate login and account. So your professional page should actually be tethered to your personal Facebook account. I'm actually going to peek on my calendar here. We have tomorrow in our office, we have Dana with Independence Title coming in for anybody who wants to set up their Facebook pages. She's coming in. Oh, I need to post my screen here for you guys. Sorry. Dana is coming in to help anybody who wants hands-on assistance in emailing. For our Austin folks, if we want to set up another virtual session, just reach out to me and let me know. So in the slide that I'm sending you guys as a follow-up, I've posted, there's actually a link. You can just click on this slide. If you've not yet created your professional Facebook page, this link will take you to your own spot where you can create that page. Nathan Anderson, will you give me a thumbs up? Are you guys seeing my presentation now? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Once you've created that professional Facebook page, Facebook recently got a facelift. I will tell you, of all the websites that I use, Facebook seems to change more than ever. So I've just updated this presentation for you in the last couple of days with the newest places to find some of these details. When I log into my personal account, you'll see I'm here as Erin. I have a button on the left-hand side that takes me to my pages. And keep in mind, mine looks, there's more detail here because I'm also managing company pages, but you'll find your page here. I've also set mine up as a shortcut so I can quickly get to that professional Facebook page. Before you start building content, or if this is going to be your fresh start for utilizing your Facebook page to build business, keep in mind that we realize that most of you don't come from a marketing background, and most people who are running Facebook pages on Facebook don't unless they work for a big company. So don't reinvent the wheel. I encourage you to look at other Facebook pages. Look at mine. I don't post as frequently since I'm not out selling, but I do keep up pretty consistently. Google other realtors that you respect in the community. Google realtors in other areas to look at other pages and see how they've built their page and the type of content that they're posting. Think about what you're passionate about. I always say realtors are the only ones who want to constantly read real estate statistics, right? So when it comes to the type of content you're going to create, we have one of our agents, for instance, used to be a professional chef, and she works recipes into her Facebook page when it comes to home. Thinking about real estate doesn't always have to be real estate stats. It can be whatever you're passionate about. Other agents are passionate about restaurants in the area and post about different restaurants around the city and then the communities and the subdivisions that are located near those. So it doesn't need to be real estate stat. So start thinking about those things that you're passionate about, because if you're passionate about it, it's easier for you to create content and drive traffic to your site. Do I have a unique specialty or special interest, just like I described? And what will I keep up with? Again, if it's something that's easy, that's already built into your practices, another one of our agents who has 2 young kids likes to post about things to do around San Antonio if you have young children, and talks about the homes that are in that area. So you don't have to have a theme to your page, but if there's something you're passionate about that you can incorporate through, it can be a great strategy for building content. Next, keep in mind that the general Facebook app is built for managing your personal account. Facebook, in my opinion, makes it pretty difficult to manage your business pages through that account because they want you to download their secondary app. So there is actually a Facebook Pages app. It is so much easier to use for building content on your professional page. So I do encourage you to actually download that app. I just mentioned go out and follow some pages that impress you. Of course, I hope that you're going straight to your JB Goodwin Austin or JB Goodwin San Antonio, Hill Country, New Braunfels. Go and follow those Facebook pages because Tony, who we have on the call, is constantly posting valuable content that's happening, ideas and things that are happening in our area and our market. So rather than you having to reinvent the wheel, you can share those posts directly for content. We'll talk about content building in a little bit. You can even Google, I Googled 7 Facebook pages worth stalking, and they're all real estate related or home related. So do some Googling and find some impressive social media sites or Facebook pages and go out and follow those. When you're following pages, we all know that our news feed, when we open up our personal Facebook account, our news feed can be filled with a lot of noise, a lot of ads, what all of our friends had for dinner last night. So it can be hard to find the information that you're looking for and want to have readily available to you. So when you visit, and I use HGTV as an example, when you visit a Facebook page that you believe will have good content for you, for instance, JB Goodwin's Facebook page, rather than just liking that page, which means that you like that page and it might show up sporadically in your news feed, I encourage you to select or click these 3 dots on the right-hand side on that page, and then click Follow Settings. For those sites that I find have really valuable content, National Association of Realtors, I've set them up rather than the default setting that you see on the right-hand side. I set them up as favorites, which means Facebook knows they are a priority for me, and I'm going to see them more readily. I also can really outline what type of things I want to be notified with. For instance, I can say every time HGTV posts, I want to be notified directly about that. That might get, with HGTV, that'd be completely overwhelming. So don't use that example. But if there's sites that you find motivating, maybe it's even just inspirational quotes you like to start your day with and you want to share those, I encourage you to use those 3 dots, select the follow settings, rather than just liking the page. And I'll pause there and see if we have any questions so far. All right, rocking and rolling. Don't forget to follow the rules. When it comes to creating a Facebook page, our entities, TREC and National Association, everybody considers this a website for you. So we have to follow very specific rules. I've included a majority of those are the main points you need to have. Make sure you're including your broker's name. Remember, we can't ever conduct business without people knowing our broker. So you can either make sure that you always have your logo incorporated into your header or your cover photo, or what I find easier is I just put JB Goodwin into the title of my Facebook page. So my Facebook page is called Erin Sestero, Realtor with JB Goodwin. If I were going to do it again, I'd probably do Erin Sestero, JB Goodwin Realtor. I find that easier because I don't have to constantly remember to incorporate the JB Goodwin logo or have that built in. Make it clear that you're a real estate agent or a realtor. Go one step further by including your license number in the About section. That when it comes to making sure that people always understand who we are and our intent, that is the easiest thing I find, to make sure that we just have our term realtor in there. What that means is, let's say on Facebook, I want to run some ads about how great the interest rates are now. I need to make sure the public always understands who I am, that I'm a realtor, not a mortgage broker or something of that sort. So I find it easiest to always follow that rule by just having it built into the header or the page name. Now, I will tell you recently, for any of you who are creating a new Facebook page, recently, Facebook set it up that you cannot capitalize the entire term realtor. They're going to let you capitalize the first letter, and then the rest will be lowercase. And NAR realizes that we can only do what we can do with Facebook, so that's okay. Scott, this is being done on your professional page once you set it up. So everything I'm going through now is going to be on that professional page when you set that up. And I'm going to show some screenshot examples in just a few minutes. My personal account still just reads reads Aaron Sestero. I'm not doing business there. My professional account is where I'm outlining this now. Remember that realtor is actually a registered trademark, and that NAR doesn't allow us to call our Facebook page San Antonio's best realtor or your downtown realtor. We're not supposed to have descriptors other than our name or brokerage before the term realtor. Include a link to your specific IABS and TREC consumer protection notice in the About section of your page, because this is a website and those website regulations say that we have to include those two things. I have them here for you. You can copy and paste my language. I have this written out as exactly as it's supposed to appear. The only thing you would need to change is that this link to your IABS needs to be the link to your specific IABS. And the easiest way to do that or collect that is to go to your own signature, start an email in JBGoodwin where we've set up a link to your IABS. Click on that, and then you can copy and paste that URL so you have the link to your specific one. Let's see, Mario, is a link okay, or do you have to display the IABS form? A link is okay. So just as I have this written out, you are allowed to utilize that link. Technically, it has to be at least 10-point font. Facebook does that and helps you follow that rule. So that link is A-okay as long as people can access it. Scott, I didn't quite understand the question, following other sites. Let me know. Oh, how to follow other sites? We'll get there from Facebook page. I'll actually deep dive into that in a moment. This is a snapshot of the About section of my professional Facebook page. Facebook tweaks this, and depending on when you created your Facebook page, you might see slight variations of what yours looks like. Facebook updates this regularly. But under my story section of my Facebook page, if you click see more, I'm allowed to use as many characters or up to 3,000 characters here. So I have my entire bio in here, as well as all those links to the IABS and those details. So I find that to be the easiest place to contain that information. Remember that we have to follow copyright rules. This is a website that we've created here. Photos and your cover photos, and if you're creating original posts that you either own or you've purchased the rights to. Same thing with music. So if you want to post something about real estate statistics, we can't just go and Google real estate images, download an image and utilize it in our post. So we need to make sure that we have rights to actually utilize that post or that photo. Same with music. Now you can, if you find interesting content on another site, you can share that directly to your page. So if it has a photo there, even though you don't own that photo, it links back to the individual who had that photo. So if you're sharing, you don't have to own that original content. And I'll pause there and see if we have any questions.
Erin, I have a question. So
yes,
I set up my Facebook page, and I found on the JBGoodwin website a picture that says JBGoodwin, and I use that as my background. So if I'm taking it from the JBGoodwin marketing materials, is that okay?
It is.
Okay.
As long as you're pulling it. We actually have, Tony's created for us, and you have access to a stock photos folder on the drive, which is where I would encourage you to pull those from, because they're high quality. And I'm also going to show you, when it comes to cover photos and some other things, we have some examples for you too.
Okay. And then one other question. I'm co-hosting an open house for somebody else's listing this weekend. So can I take her pictures from MLS to put on my business page?
You can. If it's a JBGoodwin listing, you can do that. Only if it's a JBGoodwin listing, because we have rights. They release that to our brokerage for advertising.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Great questions. As you just outlined, we actually have a number of cover photos pre-created and branded for you guys. We have San Antonio versions, Hill Country versions, Austin versions, some with houses, and a number of different variations for you. There's actually a link here that you can click on when you go back and view this presentation, that you can find that folder directly. It's on the drive. Otherwise, you can also search Facebook cover photos on the drive and you'll find that. So they've got some pre-branding written in. If for any reason we need a variation, certainly feel free to reach out to me and let me know. Couple tips: be consistent with your profile photo, but you can alter the cover photo. Keep in mind that with your professional Facebook page, we're working on building a brand. So people recognizing you over time is what you're trying to accomplish. So sometimes we have folks that are constantly changing their profile photo on their business page, which makes it hard for people to consistently recognize who you are. So keep that on your personal page. If you want to post a new photo every time you go out and do something fun, you can alter your photo or your profile photo on your personal page. But when it comes to your professional page, I encourage you to keep that headshot. Some agents use a logo, whatever it may be that you've built for your branding, keep that consistent, because as you start commenting and socializing with people online, they're going to start to recognize you. Now, the cover photo, you can certainly change that with seasons or things along those lines. I encourage you to be consistent with your voice. Sometimes we're pulling content, we're trying to figure out how to create these consistent posts, but a big aspect of social media is people starting to connect with you and relate with you. And I'll give you an example of where I epically failed with this. When I first realized I was going to get into real estate, I was just relocating to San Antonio. You guys know, right? I bought a home here, didn't have a great experience, and said, by golly, I'm going to fix this. So in the period between when I started my classes and when I was going to be licensed, I knew I couldn't act as a real estate agent, but I started connecting with people by describing home maintenance tips and that process of getting into my home as a person. I was sharing things about moving to San Antonio and how I was shocked that you have to go to the tool center. If you buy a tree, you need to stop by the tool center and get a jackhammer to get it into the ground. You know, I started talking about those things. And then the moment I was licensed, I changed my voice and sounded like Miss Realtor who was talking about real estate statistics. I lost 50 likes on my page or followers within days. They had connected with one person who was naturally me, and then for some reason I changed my voice and thought I had to do that. So when you start building content, people are going to start relating to the person that you are. So have your voice and use your voice. Doesn't mean that it's not all completely professional. I hope it is, but it can speak to you versus sounding like somebody else. Make sure you have a complete bio on your Facebook page. Your goal is you're getting people to get to your Facebook page is for them to be able to learn about you and start connecting with you. So go and copy and paste that bio that you have on the JBGoodwin website and make sure that it shows up in your About section as well. Make sure you have your contact information easily accessible. Your email address, your telephone. I know if you're brand new to real estate, it seems weird that we blast our mobile phone numbers everywhere that people can find them. I had to change my mindset for that. But people get lazy when it comes to clicking and trying to find contact information. So if they can't find you easily, then they move on to Zillow and find a realtor there. So make sure that it's very easy for people to figure out how to reach you. Make sure on that note that you've also updated your contact information on your personal page. That's just a side note for you. Everything I'm focusing on is on your professional page, but I do have a number of agents that you guys maybe change to a local telephone number. If you're newer to San Antonio, your old phone number shows up in your personal profile. Just go and check that in case you connect with somebody personally that wants to reach out with you about real estate and they can't get a hold of you. That's actually happened to our team a couple of times. And then keep in mind, as I described, people only go through a few clicks to try to find information before they move on. So I encourage when you're posting content, consider posting your contact information on a pretty regular basis. I quite often will throw my cell phone number or my email address at the end of my engaging posts where I think people might want to reach out for more information. You know, in my neighborhood, I always, on my social media for my neighborhood, I always offer to answer any questions about tax bills when they come out, and I instantly put my contact information right there so people don't have to dig through my About section to find it. Checking for questions here, let me know. Once you've set up your professional Facebook page and you visit it, you actually have the option to edit your call to action button on the page. So my button goes to send message, so I instantly get a message through Facebook. But if you know that you're really bad at keeping track of Facebook Messenger, don't set that as your default. You can edit that button to be a call me now and email me. So you have options there. Find whatever option you know you're going to do best at keeping up with. So once you have created that page and you go and look at the page, you'll have a button, just as I've shown you, that says edit the send message or edit this button. And you can also test the button once you set it up. How we doing, guys? We're cooking along. You can also create a personalized URL. The easiest way to learn how to do this without having to dig through your settings is just to go to facebook.com/username. I have the link up here so you can actually click on it. If you work your way through these steps of these slides following this training, just click on this. That will change my Facebook page, my professional Facebook page, from being facebook.com/Erin Sestero Realtor followed by a million characters that Facebook auto created. So if you're going to use social media on a regular basis and maybe share your Facebook page, making it a nice clean address that people can find easily or that fits nicely onto a card or promotional materials makes it easier for them to track and find. So you can change. This screenshot is actually this is my personal Facebook page. You can do that for your personal Facebook page as well if you're connecting with friends and want to make it easy for them to find you. But that'll take you to setting it up for your business page as well. Now keep in mind when you go to do this, some Facebook pages or some Facebook settings will require that you've had your Facebook page for a period of time before they'll let you set this up. So it might tell you it's not available at this time. Just set your calendar for a month from now to go back and do that. All right. There's a misconception that you have to spend hours and hours a day trying to figure out how to come up with content for your Facebook page. When I was out actively selling, I had a couple of Facebook pages. I had both my general real estate Facebook page and a military on the move Facebook page. And people thought I was spending hours a day coming up with content, but what I was doing was using a few tools that made it easy for me to spend only 5 to 10 minutes trying to create content. So that's what we're going to dive into now, is examples of content creation. Ken, I like your example. Your Texas pink. I like it. Ken pink, for anybody who didn't pick up on that. Or it's not your favorite color, right, Ken? All right. First of all, keep in mind when to post. So I pulled some of the most recent statistics. Right now, people are on social media all of the time. We're seeing more social media activity than ever. But if you look at consistent traffic patterns over the last couple of years, including COVID times, best time to post on Facebook is between 1 to 3 p.m. during the week and on Saturdays. That's a busy time that most people have their eyes on Facebook. We also see engagement rates are 18% higher on Thursdays and Fridays. I guess people are gearing up for the weekend and start feeling social. I'm not sure what that is. So Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 3 can be your best times to post and get the most traffic. And then Thursday at 8 p.m. is pretty busy again. 1 to 4 p.m. late in the week is what we're seeing a new pattern for. So that's stretching out a little bit. So that's consistent. Just keep that in mind, that if you're going to start scheduling posts, you can pick those traffic times that are busiest to increase or maximize your exposure. If you're a person who likes statistics, I'll go over this just very quickly. Just know that you can even analyze your insights for your professional Facebook page and see when people are engaging your page the most. So if you're that person, just know to go to your insights and start researching that information. Calendar your goals. My recommendation would be to post at least 3 times a week on your professional Facebook page. I know that sounds scary, but that can be just sharing content that we've created for you that Tony's posted on our JBGoodwin sites. We'll dive into that in just a few minutes. I recommend that you look at a monthly calendar at the beginning of every month. Mark the holidays, so you know those are the easy posts, and generally we've created content for you that you can post on holidays. Don't forget the weird holidays. You know, people get inundated on the major holidays with seeing messages. Sometimes there's those fun and weird holidays. This Saturday is National Pasta Day. Yes, we have a Canva for National Pasta Day. I don't remember how we worked real estate into pasta, but Emily did that for our team. It's very creative. Those things can stand out. Pre-plan your busy times. If you know you're going on vacation, plan in advance so you've scheduled those posts, and I'm going to show you how to do that so you don't have to be thinking about your social media content to be consistent. Post when your viewers are watching, as we just described, and then realize that you can reuse posts. If something's really engaging, remember, even with our best posts, only a certain number of people that we're connected with will see it. So keep in mind, you can post that again, maybe 6 months from now, depending on the message, maybe 2 months from now, or maybe it's something that you post on a monthly basis that is a reminder that you're here for a free market analysis, and then you just slightly change the verbiage to reuse that post again. So keep in mind those strong posts, you can consistently use them. You have the opportunity to schedule posts in advance. For me, quite often, and we all know this happens, my week can get away from me by Tuesday. So on my calendar every morning or every Monday morning from 8 until 9, that's when I schedule my posts. So if I visit my professional Facebook page and I'm looking at my main page, on the left, I will see publishing tools. If you select publishing tools, the next screen you're going to see is this screen. And on the top right-hand side, I can create a post. On the next screen, I'm going to write my post, upload my photo, connect my link, whatever it is that I'm posting, just like I would do if I were posting at this very moment. But rather than sharing now, I'm going to use the drop down for the news feed that says, click the share now, and when you click that, it's going to give you the opportunity to schedule the post. And you can do this for dates and times in the future. So every Monday morning, I say, okay, I know Thursdays and Fridays between 1 and 3, maybe 1 and 4 are a great time to post, and maybe I want to do Tuesday. So I will schedule all my posts for the week in advance. So I've done it once in one sitting, and I don't have to think about it again until next Monday. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't, in addition to that, run into something fantastic on social media and share it. But then those are easy organic posts, and these are my more structured posts. And we're going to talk about content and where to find that information. I'm going to pause and see if anybody has any questions there. All right, we're rocking and rolling, guys. Share content as and to your business page. So it's hard to find. Facebook hides some of their most important buttons in teeny tiny places. But let's say you have visited HGTV or JBGoodwin, our Facebook page, and you want to share a post to your professional Facebook page. If you just go straight to the share button, most likely, depending on what tool you're on, it's going to go right to your personal account, Erin Sestero, the person. But I have this little tiny drop down over here that has my photo, and I can click that arrow, and it's showing me that the default would be to post it to Erin Sestero. But in this situation, I want this on my professional Facebook page. So I'm going to select Erin Sestero, Realtor with JBGoodwin, my Facebook professional page, before I share. So it's sharing directly to that. That makes sense? Good, Sharon. I'm glad this is helpful. All right. Sharing content. We'll talk about that a little bit further. Somebody just asked about liking other pages, and this is something, it's a little technical, but once you set up, it's very easy to use. When I was looking at inspiration for creating Facebook page posts, I realized it can be tough to try to keep up with my personal news feed and find information, even if I had it at the top of my news feed, find information between all the details of what my friends and family were doing. So you can actually create a news feed that is specific to only pages having to do with your business. So if I visit, for instance, I use Sitterly Homes in this example. If I visit a professional Facebook page, somebody else's business, maybe it's my favorite inspector that writes great posts. We have a roofer in town who creates great content in San Antonio. When I visit their page, rather than just liking this, I use the 3 dots to the right, and I like it as my page. So that's not Erin Sestero, the person who's liking that page. It's Erin Sestero, JBGoodwin Realtor, that likes this page. And this action versus the typical like accomplishes 2 things. First, it sends a notification to that business that Aaron Sestero, the realtor, likes their business. So I'm starting to build a business relationship versus just that personal relationship. Second, it adds it to my news feed that's not Aaron Sestero, the person. It is Aaron Sestero, the realtor, and I can go and find that content easily. Now, for those of you who have taken my Facebook training anytime before about 4 months from now, it was super easy to find your news feed for your business page on Facebook. For some reason, they've made it more complicated. I'm going to show that to you in just a moment. So just a little note here to reiterate, just as your personal profile has a news feed that shows you the posts for all your friends and businesses, you can create a news feed that's specific just to your professional page. And I'll actually show this to you guys at the end, time permitting. So what I did for my professional page is I spent about 30 minutes to an hour, and I went out and rather than liking, I liked as my page sites in the area that have to do with my business. So JBGoodwin Realtors, HGTV, Zillow, local builders, local contractors. So I went and liked all of those pages as my professional page because I knew those were places I could pull content from without having to dig for hours to find quality content. In order to go and then find that information, what Facebook did to make it a little tricky on you is you actually have to go to a URL. And what that website or that URL is going to be is you can actually drag this over for you guys. In just a second here. When I am visiting my professional Facebook page, so it's my URL that I've created for this page, I'm now going to, at the end of this, copy and paste what I just showed you here, news underscore feed, news underscore feed / and hit enter. What will load, and I've got the news on here. I need to take my Express News because it's too many posts in a day. But now what I'm seeing is a news feed that's only specific to Facebook pages that I know I can often copy and paste. I've got San Antonio Luxury Home Magazine, got the Express News, House. I do a lot of Military on the Move posts, so I was following military.com. So I've created a news feed that I can quickly scroll through in the morning and find content that might be valuable for me when I want to post to my professional page and find content. Now, because I don't want to have to remember what to type in every time I want to find that, I personally set this up as a shortcut. So I left clicked and dragged it, and I would put it right here to my shortcuts on my Google Chrome, and I would probably call this Facebook posts or something that's easy for me to find. That makes sense? So, Reno, I'll talk to you about boost posts as well. All right. The first time you visit your news feed, it's going to coach you through setting up your business page news feed and the content that you can find there. So when you first visit that website, you'll see a couple of prompts that'll coach you through this. And then, as I mentioned, just save that as a shortcut so you can find that information easily. Building content, any content is valuable. Video content is fantastic. That's a whole nother subject. Tony's offered a great training on YouTube and video content that you guys can reference. So I'm going to skip through this section a little bit because this is additional information that is deep diving. I've got statistics in here that just talk a little bit about video content and what you might consider. So I know I'm flying through this, but I want to make sure we have time for general questions. And we have a whole separate training on video content and tools there. If you're looking for inspiration on what to have for posting videos, whether they're live videos or pre-created videos, of course, we create a great deal of video content for you and post those. I'll have links to a couple of options for you for video content so you guys can pull from those in my follow-up email. Professional and personally filmed property tours. So whether it's the tour that your photographer created for you, the YouTube we do for you, or you want to go and do your own walking tour through the property, that's a great tool. There's an app that I love called Ripple. It's R-I-P-L. That is not a typo. That's what it's actually called. Ripple is a free app. It's a free version. You can also do a paid version that just takes their little Ripple logo out. But the free version works great, and it's an app that helps you take just a few pictures of a property and turn them into really interesting, engaging mini videos for social media. You can share videos from HGTV, your favorite service providers. And for those of you who are deep diving into editing videos, if you're looking for an app to do that, I really love the Cute Cut app. It's so easy. I downloaded that. I use it on a regular basis for you guys. It lets me plunk a JBGoodwin logo at the front of the video. I can crop and edit my video if I want to cut off the beginning or the end, if I make a funny face when I get started, and then I can put my contact information at the end. So I use Cute Cut on a regular basis. Just know that that's noted here on the slide. Facebook actually has a system. It's shocking to me, but over 80% of videos watched on social media are watched with the sound off. I think I actually do this. Sometimes I'm in bed and I'm scrolling through and I don't want the video blasting, so I've got my sound off. So think about that if you're posting video, putting a few words, gorgeous bedroom, whatever it may be, over video is valuable. And there's actually an option on Facebook that you can turn on captions if you want to do that. So I've got the information here for you. Don't forget to ask for the business. We spend so much time trying to create content and valuable information. Don't forget that when you post something, that beautiful photo, ask for the business afterwards. It sounds silly, but half the people on social media don't understand how real estate or realtors work. They don't understand that they don't have to call just the listing agent to see that property. There are a lot of misconceptions out there. So ask for the business so people know and feel welcome to reach out to you and contact you through social media, through your posts. Don't hesitate to ask friends to help you build your business and ask them to share your Facebook page. I've given a couple of examples. Help me help you. Please help me achieve it'll be 2021 now. Please help me achieve my 2021 goal to help more people by sharing my Facebook page. I can help you anywhere your real estate needs may take you. We have leading real estate companies in the world posts, a lot of examples there. Create a call to action, engaging posts where people feel welcome to comment and give their opinion versus feeling like you're just making a statement. Can generate a lot of traffic and interest and get people to share your posts. Ask a question, ask for votes, ask for a reaction. Again, invite people to participate on your social media. Sometimes when we write factual statements, people don't feel like they might be countering you if you make an opinion or something of that sort. So engage your audience by asking for their opinions. And sometimes this is just what some of our agents use before and after photos of homes. Others use images of a room and asking what color you would paint the walls. So those engaging posts can get people to socialize with you. When it comes to generating content, again, don't reinvent the wheel. Go and follow other pages. But there are also a ton of articles, and I've posted a few of my favorites here that give you ideas for posts to create. So I have over 100 Facebook marketing ideas for realtors, 50 post ideas for realtors, several articles that you can read through here. And when you read through them, again, I would encourage you to either create a list that you're going to start pulling from, or actually mapping these out on your calendar so you know what those are going to look like over time. Oh, good, Scott. I'm glad you found that information helpful. Remember, we're supposed to do our major posts for conducting business on your professional page. But every time I post on my professional page, I'm then sharing that post to my personal page so that everybody I know, everybody I'm friends with is going to see that content. And that way it's easier for them to find my page if they're not going out and Googling or searching for that. So once you post on your professional page, so I've gone to my Erin Sestero Realtor with JBGoodwin, and a few days ago I posted the image that Tony provided for us, reminding my sphere to go out and vote. I posted it on my professional page, but then as soon as I did that, I use that magic little button that I showed you guys before. Click that, and I don't want to post it again on my professional page. I've already done that, so I switched over to working as Erin Cestaro, the person. Once I do that, the next step, when I hit the share button, now it's Erin Cestaro, the person, who can share it on her personal profile. I'll pause there. Does that make sense to everybody? We've gone back and forth now. Sometimes I'm looking at a professional page for HGTV, and I'm clicking this little button to make sure when I share it that I'm sharing it to my professional page. But when I've created content on my professional page, I also want to share it on my personal page so that I am showing people my professional page. I'm hoping they're going to click on that and deep dive and learn more. But I'm going back both directions with this content. We spend all this time trying to figure out what to post on our social media, and then we forget to be social. So don't forget to be social. The biggest aspect of social media is people feeling like they connect with people. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people in our sphere seem to use it as a news source these days, so people are going to value the content that you're providing, but make sure that you're engaging those people out there. I personally, if you're brand new to Facebook and creating your professional Facebook page, I encourage you to spend a couple of weeks creating content first before you invite every friend to come and see your page, or at least a couple of days. Because if you create your page 1 minute and then when it's all done, Facebook will actually say, do you want us to share your page with your sphere and invite friends to like it? If you do that, when they get here, they don't see anything yet. So I would encourage you, spend a couple days, go out and visit a model home with a builder, take a picture and comment about the time you spent with the builder. Have a couple of posts with content and people being able to see you doing real estate. You know, take a screenshot now that you're in Facebook training and building your marketing tools for real estate and post it on your Facebook page so that when you do invite people to like your Facebook page, that they can see content when they get there. You will be prompted when you set it up, but you can go back and find this option to invite people to like your Facebook page by visiting your own page, hitting those 3 dots here. And when you hit those 3 dots, you can invite friends to like your page. I'll pause this. What do you want as a Canva? Sharon, let me know. All right. Also, when you're going out and communicating with builders or inspectors or those business professionals that you're starting to connect with on social media, don't forget, even when you comment on their page, I encourage you to comment as your professional business page versus you, the person. So I shared an example. Guillen Homes, when I was first a realtor, I went out and visited a number of their models. I had clients that really liked them, so I was doing my homework anyway. I connected with 2 sales counselors there, and then I was posting about their site and tagging them and formed a relationship. They sent me quite a few leads over time. So when you're connecting with other pages, build that relationship between your business page and that business by making comments of support or encouragement or answering engaging questions. But before you just click and start commenting and it defaults to you, the person, use that same magic arrow and say, I'm acting as my business page, and start commenting at that time. Then Guillen gets a notification that Erin Cestaro, JBGoodwin Realtor, is commenting on their page versus Erin Cestaro. Again, I'm building my brand. Tag other businesses. You want them to support you, support them. And this is a strange example I pulled from a while ago, but this is when I adopted my cat Ollie from the Humane Society, or no, he was a wild. I was taking him there to get spayed. Is it spayed or neutered for a boy? I always get that wrong. Fixed. There we go. So I was taking him to the Humane Society. I thought they were so amazing. I posted on my social media a big thank you. Those people work hard. So I posted a thank you, and before I wrote San Antonio Humane Society, I put the @ symbol, which triggers Facebook to tag them or find their professional Facebook page and create a link between me and them. So it supports their business, because if somebody wants to go and learn more about the Humane Society, they can just click this writing in blue. But it also accomplishes another thing, where it's alerting them that I've tagged them in my post. So you'll see instantly the San Antonio Humane Society commented back, "Thanks, Erin." So when you're working with other businesses and starting to form relationships, tagging them, they know, helps drive traffic. They heard my comment versus it just going out to the sphere and hoping that thank you gets back to them. So consider tagging businesses, and sometimes I'm tagging multiple things if it's good events held at a certain location so that you can generate traffic. Quite often, for instance, the Humane Society, they allow their posts, if people tag them, they will share them on their page. So then it also ended up that this post was posted all over the Humane Society's page with a link back to me. So consider that. This is a bad example because I did it from my personal page. It would have been more effective to do it from my professional page. Mario, is it beneficial? Great question. Is it beneficial to add hashtags to Facebook posts? It is, and I use hashtags a great deal. Hashtags, if somebody goes to Facebook and they want to search something specific, they can go up to the search window. You know, I need a new home. If they search that, it's first going to pull all those hashtags or that hashtag from a number of posts. So if it's something that you are promoting, if you're, you know, we use hashtag JBG family, I can type that and find every post that had anything to do with that. So it starts finding common links between posts and can be very beneficial. If you're looking for ways to find new leads, go and search Instagram or Facebook and search some of those hashtags. Hashtags, I need a new home. One of our agents has effectively done that for reaching out to people who have posted that. Hashtag, I hate my neighbors. Yes, I hate to say that. That's a common thread, but you can find people who might be considering moving through hashtags. Great question, Mario. This is a random side note, but something that can be a great way to connect. Of course, making somebody feel special on their big days and celebrating with them is a wonderful way to connect. You can actually, rather than having to go and constantly look for people's birthdays or rely on that post to come up on the top of your Facebook page, for some reason mine never does, you can be proactive and find the birthdays for everybody in your sphere coming up for the entire next week. This is a little side note challenge, but because your Moxie Engage system, if you put birthdays in, will automate that process of reaching out to everybody in your sphere, I encourage you, as you're building your social media connections and connecting with people, set a goal for yourself. That was my Monday from 9 until 10. So I did my posts from 8 till 9. And from 9 to 10, I worked on birthdays. You can go to your personal Facebook page, select the events button, and on the next screen, hit birthdays. And now I can find all of the birthdays coming up for everybody that I'm connected with and those past ones for the entire next week. And rather than having to go to every individual page to find that information, I can instantly comment on their Facebook page. Rogelio, if you're on here, happy birthday. So I can post instantly from here, and I can save that birthday into my Moxie. And I would set this up to do this just once a week. And by the end of the year, I had 800 birthdays into my Moxie content because I just did this every Monday and saved all of those for the week. All right, that's the end of the slide. I'm going to address a question about boosting posts. We're going to visit Facebook. And then we'll just pause to kind of answer some questions and see if we want to troubleshoot. When I post a post on Facebook, I instantly, once that post goes live, have a button that I can push here that is Boost Post. Boost Post allows me to create what is essentially a little ad that appears in the news feed of Facebook. So Facebook has algorithms, and they decide when they want your post to appear in front of your friends, who's going to see it. Sometimes it has to do with how often they engage you, but they have their own algorithms that we can't control for who sees our posts when we make them. What we can do to get in front of more people above and beyond that algorithm is we can boost the post. And you can click step by step through this in setting your budget. You can either set a daily budget or a lifetime budget. You can do Facebook post boosts for as little as $5. Mine defaulted to $10. So I would tinker through this a little bit, but what this is going to do is take that post, and rather than it just appearing to those people that Facebook decided it should view to, it's going to increase. And you can see this example. If I didn't change any of the settings with the boosted post, I would reach with $10, I would reach between 135 and 390 people. And I would probably have between 24 and 70 people actually engage that post. So Facebook has amazing algorithms in the background that they utilize to try to get this in front of people. I personally have practiced, just to consider here, I've done, every time I would do an open house, I would do an open house post, and then I would just boost it for $5 or $10 to generate traffic. And I pretty consistently had people who would come in and say that they saw my post for my event on social media. And that's just a side note subject. Let's see. Another thing that you can consider with your professional Facebook page, if you are holding an open house, you might consider doing an event versus just a post. So I can create an event. I clicked more, an event, created an event, and then it's going to coach me. And now it asks me, is this an online event? Isn't that funny? Or is this an in-person event? If it's an open house, if it's a broker open, I would select in person, and it just prompts me to fill out the information that I need for creating that event. For those of you online, we do this with your training sessions. This is what we're creating, is events. A question from Mario: the easiest place to find your link to your IABS. What I personally do is I open up my Gmail. I just click create or compose an email. Then we've uploaded your link to your specific IABS here in your signature. I go to that link, which will take me to where we've saved this for you on the drive versus you digging in your drive. Then you can copy and paste this URL at the top. That's your easiest option, in my opinion, to find your page. If I was following a builder and did not change to my professional page, can you change who is following to my business page versus personal? Debbie, the easiest way to do that would be just to go back. Let's say it's Ian Holmes. You can't just change it. Ooh, where did I end up with? There we go. Ian Holmes, I did not like it as my personal. If you did, you can unselect, just hit the like button again and it unlikes it. Ooh, I would take that personally. Then you can go to your drop down and like as your page. Scott shared keeping current matters is a great option for auto posting. I agree. There are a lot of different companies out there that will auto post for you on your social media. I would just be careful with these. Don't rely on that. Social media is about connecting with people. So if you over automate too much, then people aren't going to connect with you. They're not going to hear your voice, and it's harder to get engagement. So it's a great tool for the in-between comments. But make sure, I hate to say this, but everybody knows 5 to 10 realtors, right? So, and sometimes individuals are part-time realtors in our profession. So people have a misconception about our business. I'll switch over here. About our business. I remember personally when one of my girlfriends, when I was about 6 months into real estate, looked at me and said, "Are you still doing that real estate thing?" "You mean my career?" "Yes, I'm still doing that real estate thing." So it takes a while to train your sphere and the people around you to realize just how serious you take this profession and how committed you are to helping them with their real estate needs. So the more they see you out, I know it's not proper English, but the more they see you doing real estate, posting that you're out showing, posting that you visit a model, the more they are going to connect with you and really want to reach out to you. I also just want to reiterate, when it comes to creating content, I don't want you spending hours trying to find some valuable gem that you can share with your sphere about the market or those details. And we do try to create content for you guys. Sometimes it's easy posts that will engage people. I will tell you honestly, the biggest result I've ever had from a post is I once got 3 listings from one social media post. Now, of course, that comes from me having been pretty active on social media for a while. But the final post that got people to reach out to me was, I think it was 2015. We had a big freeze come all of a sudden out of nowhere. And I took a picture in my JBGoodwin hat and of a stack of hose bib covers that I grabbed from Lowe's, and I posted, the freeze is coming, driving around covering hose bibs at my vacant listings, because I had 3 vacant listings with folks out of town and they were all in a tizzy. And that post made people reach out to me and say, I really appreciate that you're willing to stick your neck out and help your sellers. We're moving, we're worried it's not going to sell before we leave, and it started engagement. So it was not a magical post, but it was one that I just posted that was a simple thing that showed me going out and taking care of my clients. So it might be that you're going out to do that walkthrough, or that you're dropping off the closing gift at the title company, because they won't let us always go to a closing these days. So keep in mind, sometimes it's just those organic, hey, I'm out doing this real estate thing posts that can have a big influence or big impact on your sphere. List reports, I agree, has great content. If you're not utilizing list reports, this is a free tool that, well, I shouldn't say it's free, Premier Nationwide Lending pays for it for any of our agents. So it's a great tool that gives local information about our listings, has posts that they generate. So that's a great tool as well. Ken Pink, great question. Are you going to talk about reviews on your Facebook page? Is it important here? I would absolutely say that it's important. It's a little tough nowadays between Google and Facebook and Zillow, asking our clients to leave reviews for us all over the place. But I will say, if you Google your own name, I'd be curious to see what comes up first. For me, consistently in my business, when I Googled myself, my Facebook page was the first thing that came up. So I would expect organically that quite often that's where people started reading about me. So I do think it's a great idea that you're asking your clients to review you on your Facebook page. Even if it's just a couple that make that 5 stars appear, people don't dive in further. They just have a positive, it has a positive impact when they visit the site. On our Google Drive, we actually have suggested language you can use for asking for reviews if you ever need help with this. This can also be something I used to when I was at the closing table and we were in that period where we're waiting for the title company to go and process the paperwork. I would actually ask my clients if they would mind leaving a review. If I had that comfortable of a relationship, ask if they would leave a review, and I'd help them do that on their phone while we were sitting there. So it can make an easy process. Ken, how to send out the review link? Let me tinker with that. And for anybody that needs to go, thank you guys for coming. I'll just tinker through some questions for anybody that has them. Let me look and see if I can figure it out and then show you how to do that. And
thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Sorry.
Thank you guys for being here.
I know quite a bit about Facebook, but I still want to sit in this class so that I can make sure like I knew everything about the pages. And I've done what you advised, which is go and snoop on different Facebook pages. And I noticed that all the agents were using their name at JBGoodwin. So thank you for answering that question. And then thank you for answering the JBGoodwin stock photo, cover photo. I noticed that as well. And that was one of my questions. So I really appreciate this presentation.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I'll make sure I'm going to send a follow-up email to everybody in the company so you guys have that. Again, you can find them in the Drive, but I'll provide some links for you directly to this video, the slides, and some of those folders we discussed.
Thank you. But one more other question. I know that we can only list JBGoodwin's properties on as advertising on our pages. You know, say we see some random property, we really like it or whatever, in another agent's listing. What's the rule on that? You call them? Do you don't do that at all? Do you?
I'll show you an example of what I would consider best practice.
Okay.
Give me just a second here. Let me address, Ken, I'm curious if that link that I just posted, where I just posted a link there, if you'll click on that and tell me if that takes you directly to my Facebook reviews.
It did.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out how you did that.
Okay, so I will show you. I wanted to make sure it worked first, and then I will show you. And look, you'll see I only have 4 people on mine. So what I did is I visited my professional Facebook page. I'm looking at the main screen when I logged in. I went to More and Reviews.
Okay.
Once I got here, I can see my reviews. I just went up and copied and pasted the URL that is on the top of my web browser while I was reviewing my reviews page.
Excellent.
Good to go?
Well, when I click on my more, my tab doesn't have a review button.
Oh, we need one. How about I go and review you first, and then you'll have a review button.
I have a edit tabs, and well, I have reviews on there, and it's turned on. It looks, yep.
Maybe because you don't have any yet. So let's figure out.
Yes.
Campaign filter. Let me do it as I would view. Oh, this is your personal. What is your handle there? You're at
Texas Pink.
okay. So well done with the pop-up for instant communication. Oh, here I see it. Let's see if this works for you. We might have to help each other out, but that link may take you exactly to the review. And I'm curious if now that I've left the review, if it'll appear for you the way it did on mine, Ken.
Well, I just clicked on the link you sent me, and it opens up. It looks great, but it hasn't refreshed yet. So
I'd give it a few and let me know.
okay, now I know how to do it. So maybe if I just go to that reviews tab and copy that link and send it,
I think that's going to take them right to, and test it on your spouse.
Yeah,
that should take them right to that review. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So for posting, maybe it's a property your clients are interested in, a property you are showing. For posting content about a listing, we have to either ask permission from the listing agent and get that in writing, or anybody at their brokerage, frankly, because it's owned by the brokerage, or you have to follow very specific rules, and we can never misrepresent the public into thinking that we represent that property. So what I find to be the easiest way to post, let's say I was out visiting and my clients have just gone under contract and I want to post that information. What I would encourage you to do is go to your own Moxie website and search that address. Who's got a listing that's on right now that I could pull the address for a live listing? Anybody? Let's see. Give me 2 seconds, you guys.
You can do my condo.
All right. What's your condo address, Debbie?
1022 Navarro.
I would personally recommend.
It's number 402. Sorry, I don't. Yeah,
okay.
There it is.
Well, is that it?
That was it.
I would recommend actually visiting the link to that listing on your Moxie website and sharing from here. The reason for that is, and I can share this directly to my Facebook, it does a couple of things. First, it builds in the protection for you. If we are posting any listing and it's not our listing or not a JBGoodwin listing, we need to ensure that we're giving credit to the listing broker. We build that into your Moxie website. It's always going to be below the photo. Now, it's in the tiniest little font that we're allowed to do to still follow the rules, and people not realize that. And anytime you post, see, even though I'm posting Debbie's listing, if they visit that link that I just posted, if they want to reach out, email me, work with me, visit my site, look for more information, it all drives back to my website. So that would be my best practice. And your website doesn't feature just JBGoodwin listings, it features listings. But again, when I share this and I create that post to Facebook, in no way, shape, or form am I going to imply that I represent that property if it's not a JBGoodwin listing. Instead, I'm going to say, really excited for my clients, just having gone under contract. It's kind of a weird post example that I'm giving because I don't know if my clients want to be sharing that directly. So it's a rare occasion that I picture sharing other listings in the area. One of our agents focuses on historic homes. So he will find every Thursday, he finds what he considers to be a really great deal for a fixer-upper in the historic districts. That's one example that he posts that and makes a little note that this is a great gem. Contact him if you'd like to see this home listed by another agent. So that would be an example. This is also just a great way to post if you are a newer agent, posting listings from our other agents in JBGoodwin so that you can share those. Yes, Debbie.
You know, this I have noticed on our JBGoodwin on our Facebook page a personal friend of mine that comments on our JBGoodwin website. So I'm like, well, who do I go to even find out how he got there or how to get him off? So he's like his comments make it seem like he's part of JBGoodwin and he is not.
Is it on our public facing page?
I don't know.
It must be on the public facing. Our exchange, we manually accept anybody. So our internal page, he won't be on there. He can't be on there. Either Alberto or I or Christy. I think those are the three of us that are now monitor that page. So if it's the internal exchange, he's not on there. So it's probably our public posts. And maybe you found it because you shared it once, and I'll show you. Let me go over to that.
Sometimes the things that you see on Facebook Exchange mimic what we have on our public facing because we put it in both places for you to share as agents and also for that. So you may think he's commenting on the one you saw on the Exchange, but he's actually doing the one that's on the public facing page.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I see his name pop up and I'm like, well, how would he know that?
So this is our public facing, the whole world can see it, JBGoodwin Facebook page for San Antonio. We have our Hill Country Birdie, our Austin division. So on these, just so we have content, I'm regularly posting onto this Facebook page. Tony does shares for articles for us as well and shares blog posts from jbgoodwin.com. So we regularly post on this, and these are meant so you guys can just instantly come. Now remember, before I hit share, I'm going to use my little magic drop down. You guys can see what I'm doing, right? My magic drop down, and it's saying, hey, do you want to share it to JBGoodwin Realtors? No, I want to share this to my personal page. Or if you guys are building your professional content, you want to share it to your real estate business page. So change that setting first, and now you can share. And you can either share it to a group, share it to a page, or share it personally. That makes sense? Now, Debbie, when we post something on our closed groups, for instance, the exchange, because this is a private group, you can't share things out of this. There's no share button. So we do post in both places because some of our agents don't follow the public Facebook page, and we want you guys to see it and we want the public to see it. But Alberto's exactly right. Sometimes my posts on both are very similar because I want everybody to see something and I want the public to see it. So he must be commenting on the public posts.
Yeah, I'll try and pay attention a little more next time, see if I can tell.
Yeah, let me know if there's somebody snuck in there, but we have to manually do all of those. And I scrub that pretty regularly just to make sure. Good questions, guys. Any other questions? Did I miss any?
I have a question.
Yes.
Kind of going back to like posting pictures of other people's properties that they have listed. So the other day I went on a neighborhood tour and I took a bunch of pictures and I was going to work on a video for that, but it's a new neighborhood. So there's lots of lots that are available. And so what I did was I took a picture of the lot with the sign in front of that. And I was just going to put it in the video, but I didn't know, now that we're talking about that, if that is acceptable.
You can. I think it's a really great idea that you can post the properties that are available in the neighborhood, especially if there's a sign in it. It gives credit to whoever is selling that. Builders are typically very happy. And if it's a photo you took yourself, you own the rights to that. You can post that. So technically, I can take a picture of my neighbor's house that's for sale and say, I could show you this great home. I would just, again, you'd then have to comment, it's listed with, Keller Williams, but I'm happy to show it. Or I can show it to you, something of that sort. But if you're just doing a scrolling video of homes available, I would just have a disclaimer at the end that says these homes are currently listed, and as your buyer's agent, I can show you any of them. Something to that effect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I don't have to like on the video put an extra thing saying this is listed by these people
No,
if I have the sign.
You're okay. As
Okay.
long as you don't use any language that says I'm representing these properties or something
Right.
like that.
Okay, thank
So
you.
Perfect for the new Ripple app.
I was going to say it'd be perfect. You read my mind, Debbie. Ripple, that app that I mentioned earlier, that's a great one. Or you could cute cut all of those together. That other app that I utilize that you can drop a ton of pictures. And anytime I do scrolling videos for you guys, that tends to be what I use. Canva also does some video type content now as well.
Erin, have you ever thought about adding a Facebook hour that we get to sign up for with a very small classroom?
I'm happy you want to workshop, Debbie.
I mean, I've had my Facebook page for quite a while, but watching you, I can't necessarily find the same screens. And I know I have a couple things that I would like checked or double checked.
100%. I'm happy to do that. So I'll put some workshop options on our spreadsheet, Debbie. We can get together, work on it. My pleasure. All right. Any other questions, guys? Oh, affiliate, can they post a review if they're not on Facebook? No, Facebook will only allow a review to be tied specifically to a profile. So they will have to be on Facebook. Most review sites work the same way though. Even Google, to leave a Google review, somebody has to have a Google account. Those sites want to verify that they are actually a person versus somebody coming and leaving reviews for themselves or something of that sort. So most sites will require that they're a member of the site they're leaving a review for. All right, that's it for today, guys. I'll put together a little recap for you and send out an email shortly so you have direct access to that. If you have any special requests or something I didn't think to link to, please respond back to that email, because if I missed it for you, I missed it for some other folks. So I'm happy to add any of those details. I appreciate you guys being here. Bye, everyone.